Welcome back to Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, joined by co-host Jeff.
Hello, I'm me. I don't having trouble following that up. What up, Mark?
Hey, I mean, you can just say hey.
I could just say hey.
Hey, how's
like
it
I
going?
don't need to match your energy or
enthusiasm,
tone.
or
I could just be myself.
You can, that's all I can ask that you can be. It's all anybody can ask of you, is that you just be yourself. If you don't get anything from the podcast, dear listener, just know that the world doesn't need make-believe you. The world doesn't need
you.
The world doesn't need pretend you. The world just needs you. So you just be yourself.
What the world needs is you to go do a 5-star review over on Apple Podcast.
If we're gonna give advice, you got to leave a 5-star review. Jeff,
it's a fair trade.
Tell them what the theme is this year and tell them what we watched.
Oh, the theme. The great regret of my life. Not really, I guess, but we're doing one. I mean, the first half of the year, I was like, yeah, this is great. This half of the year, I've been like, fuck, shit. But,
fuck, shit.
But the theme this year, as opposed to our monthly themes, is 1 degree of separation. We take a movie. Maybe there's an actor, a director, or a stunt coordinator in this case. And then we tie it and we watch the movie that's tied together with it. So, for example, the stunt coordinator, whose name totally eludes me.
Sure.
Look it up right this second. But I will. What was the stunt coordinator in a film that seemingly had no stunts in it?
Wait, no.
Which was called I Origin.
Wait a minute.
Did I connect something else?
We vetoed that idea because unless there's the same stunt coordinator as in this week's film,
what did I connect it with?
I don't know. You had this idea that you went to the depths of the IMDb to get.
Was it Stephen Yeun?
It was Stephen Yeun, who was in last week's film.
I Origin.
Okay.
Oof. You see, like, I have problems.
So
I'm trying to confirm that that's indeed the thing.
That is.
Yeun was the friend, right?
Yeah, Stephen Yeun was the scientist friend in I Origins, and Stephen Yeun is the child actor, all grown up, running his own kind of theme park thing here in this week's film of
Nope, from 2022, directed and written by Jordan Peele of Key and Peele fame, and of course his other films, Us and Them. No, Get Out. His other films,
that would have been really good if he had like planned films that were just like Us, Them, They, I.
Yeah, well,
me.
I mean, him is coming out, which he has a part in, so. Maybe. I thought anyway. Yeah. So this movie came out in 2022, the 22nd of July, 2022, and is an alien film.
So would you classify this as a horror?
I would put it in the same vein as like Signs.
Sure.
If Signs is a horror, then yeah.
Yeah. It maybe more like psychological. That's what, and Jordan Peele is very psychological horror. And so I would, and this film is very different than Get Out and Us.
I think Us is a lot more horror.
Yeah,
like
for
that
sure.
Felt like a horror movie.
For sure.
And this definitely, I mean, I keep coming back to Signs because I feel like that's the closest parallel because of the tight-knit group of, well, really, OJ and his sister are the tight-knit group, and then they bring in Angel, and they sort of form a group together.
Well, and I forget where it was, and I'm like 99.8% positive. I'm not talking out of my ass here. But Jordan Peele's on record as being a very M. Night Shyamalan stan. Like he credits M. Night's filmography and work as some of his inspiration for the type of filmmaker that he is. And so I definitely can see the inspiration for this movie from Signs. I mean, not so much I want to say the themes are pretty on the nose here, but there are some layered themes. The themes in Signs are very out in the open. It's a very, man versus religion in that film. Whereas here in Nope, the themes are a little bit more. You actually you got to kind of dig for them, I think.
So that's a feeling I was having with Jordan Peele films in general. I don't know that I'm smart enough to understand everything that's happening, because I'll watch a movie. I'm like, yeah, that was great. And then I'll watch like a breakdown, and there's all this shit I didn't pick up. And so I watched a breakdown of this, and the guy was talking about how what this is a movie about how the Hollywood system crushes people.
It's a spectacle, our ability or inability, I guess, to advert from the spectacle. I think. I don't know. I didn't do any video watching prior to, but
definitely something to that. But I mean, so the thing that I need to blend with the rest of the film is the entire story with the monkey.
Yeah.
I mean, that opens the film, is the monkey on set having killed a bunch of people.
Right. And we later find out that Steven Yeun's character is the child actor. And I think it was like 92 or 93, 1992, 1993, when the show was debuting. It was a kind of a throwback to sitcoms of yesteryear. And this I forget what the monkey's name was, but it's probably an ape. We probably shouldn't say monkey because there's a difference between monkeys and apes, and
You're right, it is an ape.
We don't want the ape truthers,
the chimpanzee
to come for us in the comments, but it took me, and this is my second time watching this film. It took me a little bit. My first viewing, I kind of was caught up in this is the new Jordan Peele film. I really want to watch it. It was more, I was glued to see what was going to happen. I guess I was more interested in what the thing was than the themes of the film or the motivations and all this. And watching it this time, I was trying to like correlate the themes of this film to other things, and I was still struggling a little bit, is because this, like you, I think the chimpanzee fiasco that plays out throughout the film. Confusing is not the right word. I struggled to see the correlation behind Steven Yeun's character's story, the backstory here, and how that really relates to the central plot. Other than Steven Yeun's character's motivation is that he was traumatized as a child, and now he's kind of recreating a spectacle of a creature that that nobody knows about or that doesn't really understand, and really maybe the creature's acting out just because it's being put in a situation that maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. See, like that was the thing.
Yeah, because he uses the UFO thing.
Right.
Okay, if you haven't seen this movie, spoilers, but there's a UFO, but it's the UFO itself is the actual alien. We're not really sure. It could be a totally terrestrial creature that we don't know about. They don't really establish that, but it comes down and eats things and then pukes them up. And Steven Yeun essentially started like a cowboy themed park, and then he discovered this thing and he started feeding it horses.
Right.
And he thinks, that's going to get the buzz, if people come to a thing and they watch a horse get brutally eaten, that people are going to want to keep coming to that. And you notice like when he's putting the show on, there's like nobody there.
Right.
Maybe it's because he's killing horses in front of children. That's just me.
And I think there's a lot of, hey, he's kind of this washed up child actor, trying to do what he can to still cling to whatever fame he may have had, and the fame that he's trying to get back is at the whim of this spectacle, and I keep coming back to that word spectacle is because it's like, and I enjoy that the film does not get bogged down at all of trying to explain what or how or why this thing is. And I think that's brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of filmmaking and storytelling. It's because the story's not about the UFO. The story's about this brother and sister, their family dynamic, and ultimately Stephen Yeun's story. And so it's a character-driven film, but maybe the spectacle of this thing is meant to be the backdrop. But I don't know. There's parts of the movie that I'm just like, I don't quite understand, and like you, maybe I'm not smart enough to, or maybe I wasn't. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. But I mean, it's really, Keith David, like the first scene where what's his name, Daniel Kaluuya's character.
Oh, OJ.
Yeah, OJ and his dad.
There's
Keith.
a run OJ run line in this. I don't think that was an accident.
Probably not, but Keith David's in the film for a minute, and he plays the dad who owns kind of the ranch that they have, and the business that they have is that they supply horses to movie sets and movie companies, and you can tell that Daniel Kaluuya hates it, but he knows.
I don't think he hates it.
Well,
I think he's good with raising horses.
No. I think he loves the horses. I think that's quite obvious.
He hates having to train people and be the mouthpiece. That's why he has to weight on his sister, who is very comfortable being the mouthpiece,
right,
and being the person out in front.
Yeah, it's So was this your first time seeing it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had seen the other Jordan Peele films, and I bought this the day it came out on digital, and finally watched it yesterday. So that's what happened. I don't know why. I just never got around to it, but I guess it's because it was aliens, and I think that did kind of keep me from it. I'm not like a super into like alien movies. I don't dislike them by any means. It's not like, how I feel about war movies, where I really just don't like watching them, but it just doesn't get me out of bed that much. And I think that's really what happened, because I'd rather see the other side of Jordan Peele. I like Us because I like the dark atmosphere and the creepiness of like the family out on the lawn, and that sort of the way that looked. I thought that was awesome. And of course, Get Out is genius, in its storytelling. I guess I just didn't want to watch people on a farm was probably my big thing.
Well, and and there's certain until we get the reveal of this creature, it is very much a, oh my God, what kind of aliens? It does, and like the correlation between this and Signs is almost uncanny to that point. Is that when the alien in Signs is revealed, I'll never forget where I was. It's an all-time cinematic moment, at least in my opinion.
You were in the theater.
Yeah, but like the entire theater gasped, and somebody I remember people screaming.
That was me.
when Joaquin Phoenix's character is sitting in the closet watching the TV, and the found footage of the alien, it just walks by the thing, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Sometimes movies transcend like just watching them, and it's an emotion and a feeling and a memory and all this, and that's only I don't know if I can pinpoint another movie that made me feel that way upon first viewing. And so when the Signs alien was revealed, I was like, oh my God, that was crazy. I mean, it's like nightmare fuel type stuff. It's because it was such an eerie creature design, and it was done in such a smart way. And like, I mean, it's just genius filmmaking from M. Night's perspective.
Yeah.
And so when OJ's in the barn and he goes to turn off the light and the light gets turned back on, and he's like, oh, some shit's about to happen. And then the silhouette of these kids, and that's what
I love that. Was like,
it's great. It's a fantastic scene. Fantastic scene is because it subverts your idea of what they are, and then it plays on your expectation that these are little green men. It's because then as they get closer to light, and it's such the cinematography is so good in this, is because the camera work, where all you see is the top of the creature's head as it's behind a wall, and OJ, he flips out. He's ready to record it. He's not so much worried about getting away.
He nopes though.
Yeah, he does. he says, "Fuck that."
Nope. No, he says nope.
Yeah.
At two different points in the film does he go, nope, not doing that.
But it's such a great scene. And then then there's a little comedy towards the end of the scene where one of the kid flips down from the rafters and he punches it in the face. And then it's revealed that these are kids playing a trick on him. And
I love that he punched that kid in the face.
No, but like that scene is what horror to me is. It is, I don't know what's coming. These things aren't chasing me, but they're coming, and I want to get away, but I want to see what it is. As a filmmaker, as a film watcher, man, that's excellent cinema. And like I feel like that was really the only scene in this film where I got that horror vibe. And I kind of wish I got more of that. Like I don't need like little green people chasing Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya throughout a barn or anything. But I want there to be mystery throughout. And I want there to be some horror elements. And I really feel like this was really that scene in the barn, it was really the only like true type horror scene in the film.
Yeah.
And
I think the blood raining down from the sky.
Oh, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's fine. Like, yeah.
That was horror.
I mean, but like, when the creature's fully revealed, I thought like the movie kind of lost its luster a little bit.
Yeah. I think that happens though in any movie where the monster is hidden, because your imagination is always better than what someone else can come up with and put on screen. Just like, and granted, it comes out as just a UFO, right? And then it transforms into a big,
like jellyfish.
Something similar to a jellyfish. And yeah, I was a little underwhelmed. I think what helps in this movie are the characters.
Yeah,
I really dug the characters and their interaction. I really like how they had to warm up to Angel. Like Angel essentially inserts himself into their lives.
Yeah.
And they slowly have to warm up to him where he becomes part of the team. And then even after that night in the house, surviving together, you see that he and Emerald, Keke Palmer, are friends now, right?
Yeah.
They do the fist bump after they stayed the night in the house. So I enjoyed all of that, even though I felt like Angel was basically, like the poor man's Dave Franco. Like he just read Dave Franco to me so hard. I couldn't get it out of my head.
I mean, he even had the like, kind of frosted tips. Like,
it's not really his fault, I guess, but it was hard for me to shake.
No, it's I mean, there's other themes too in this film, and I think one of the other not as overarching themes. Maybe it is. But it, I think, was what Jordan Peele is saying about the state of cinema and how movies are made today. And it's because when Michael Wincott's character, he plays the older cinematographer, I guess.
Who just sits around watching old black and white animal snuff films.
Listen, man, you like what you like. But he brings them, OJ and Keke and Angel, they all bring them in. And because what happens is when this creature is over, it's like an EMP, it wipes out all electronics.
Yeah. And
so Michael Wincott's character, he's like, I got the perfect thing. I got this old winding, I don't even know what it's called. This old camera,
manual camera.
Yeah, that you have to constantly wind to film on. And I think that's a theme in the movie that maybe Jordan Peele is saying that, hey, regardless of the technology that filmmaking is trending towards and all this, it will never beat how films were originally made, back in the 20s and the 30s. And I think that's, it's kind of interesting.
I've watched a lot of 20s and 30s films.
I know, yeah.
And that is an incorrect statement. Specifically the 20s, because most of that was silent films, and they are not good.
Well, I think
the best of them.
But regardless of if the films were good in the 20s or 30s, I think Jordan Peele is absolutely giving some sort of commentary here that movies that were filmed in that way can't be beat. And that's just me kind of putting words in Jordan Peele's mouth, but it's kind of what I do.
We do here,
right? But I think that's a theme, and state of Hollywood is a theme in this movie. Where the Hollywood, especially with Steven Yeun's character and his backstory as a child actor, and the chimpanzee, mauling this actress, and how Hollywood is just all they're interested in is what can get views. And so, like, I think there's a lot of themes going on here, and I don't know if the movie really nails any of them. But it's got a lot to say about a lot. And I think
that's the thing when you watch something like a Jordan Peele film, where this guy is putting all sorts of Easter eggs and hidden meaning and things. You almost like make up your own meanings.
Yeah.
Like, I think the thing that kept coming to me is that horses were brought to this country by Europeans, and so were the slaves. And I'm trying to figure out if that's something.
Yeah.
That.
There is commentary. There is actual verbal commentary in this film about, the first horse in a film was owned by a black person, or it was.
Well, it's ridden. The jockey in the first film ever made was a black man, and no one knows his name. And no one knows his name. Quite literally, no one knows his name, even though this film states to, from what I understand in my limited research, is that no one actually knows that person's name.
Right. So there is commentary about how Hollywood is essentially whitewashed, and the minorities have been looked over and glossed over in their contributions to filmmaking history, and so, like, that's all I really like that type of commentary. I don't know if I necessarily like the commentary that we're supposed to correlate this jellyfish creature that could be from space, could not be, to a chimpanzee that mauled a lady in the 90s on a movie set.
She didn't get
mauled her. Yeah, she didn't get killed. I mean, she's.
Are you talking about in the movie or the real life?
No, the movie.
Person that got mauled?
The movie.
Okay, never mind then. Just continue.
I know a real life lady on the set of Nope didn't get mauled,
which is good. It was a CG monkey. I should say ape.
That man in the green suit would have been in big trouble.
Yes.
But
would have made a great film, though.
I just, I really want to talk about like kind of Jordan Peele's transformation from comedy to being kind of the it person in horror now. And how, like, I don't even know how we got there. I don't know.
He made a movie called Get Out.
Right, but like what?
But actually, what's interesting, if you go back and watch a lot of those Key and Peele skits, a lot of them are horror based. There's zombie ones. There's one in a post-apocalyptic. A lot of the humor's really dark. And so I feel like if you go back and you see those skits, you're probably safe to assume that Jordan Peele wrote those skits as opposed to Keegan.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's
definitely stuff in the television show that will lead you to see why he went this direction.
It's just it's such an interesting a look at the transformation of what is now an A-list director in Hollywood, and like I can't think of anybody else that kind of took that same route that I know of.
I mean, the Shyamalan correlation is there because he just kind of burst onto the scene, but he didn't come from comedy.
Correct,
so,
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's such an interesting kind of a career arc for Jordan Peele, is because, I mean, the skit show that he has and the comedy that he's written, and I think he's a fantastic writer, but is even more gifted storyteller and person behind the camera. I just like, I mean, Hollywood's weird. I think everybody can recognize that. Hollywood is weird. It's a weird spot, and all it takes is you making a good movie once to kind of ride out on. But like with Jordan Peele, he keeps making good movies. And we talked about last week on the podcast where you gave your 5-minute review of the movie Weapons, where Jordan Peele's production company, I think it's called Monkey Paw, they bid on the Weapons script and they lost. They lost it to whatever, was it Warner Brothers, I guess? I don't know. And he fired all of his people. And like, it's just such a crazy thought process from going from skit writer, an actor, to being a person,
big time Hollywood producer now.
Big time Hollywood producer that's firing entire staffs of people because they lost out on a script that he thought was going to be very good, and turns out that it was very good. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to kind of wrap your brain around. Is because like, it's like how did that happen? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird. This is a weird movie too.
Yeah. I did like it though.
Yeah. Do you recommend this one?
Yeah, I do. I think it's pretty strong. I think that, again, the Signs comparisons are hard to get past. I felt like Signs was more of a kick in the butt for me, whereas I still really enjoyed this. I especially loved the characters. I think they did a great job of taking these very different characters. Even the brother-sister are very different. Like, he's really reserved and she's very much an extrovert, and how they kind of come together to make this team. And I enjoyed the entire sequence with the car balloon guys out in the field as they're chasing them down. I liked that the ultimate evil in this movie was not the alien, but TMZ.
Right.
Really thought that was great. This is an easy recommendation for me.
Yeah, I will recommend it too. I don't think this is quite as strong as his previous two films, but it's also very different. And when you get a kind of a very different type of film from, what made you kind of a household name, I think you're going to have a little bit of subverted expectations, like I have, and I don't know. I wish that maybe there weren't so many themes that as you're watching you have to like kind of keep track of and wrap your brain around. But at the same time, I did enjoy like 98% of this film, and thought that it was a very unique film, highly unique. I don't think there's.
Do you think that he's just going to be forever chasing Get Out?
No. And I think maybe Us was chasing that a little bit. But then with Nope, I think seeing him create a different type of film that also has horror vibes to it, I think kind of puts him in a different stratosphere as far as filmmaking goes. And I mean he could make a movie in the next 3 years that knocks it out of the park, and everybody's like, oh, this is his his opus, this is his great thing. I just think it was such a strong debut that people are going to automatically, everything that he does is going to be like, hey, is this as good as Get Out? And I don't think he cares so much anymore, right? I think with Nope, it being so different, I don't think he cares if people think that it's as good. I think he's into just making movies, which is cool. I think that's what is needed in Hollywood is somebody that's not interested in being a studio, shill and making just the same type of movie every single time. He's just interested in making good movies, and I think he has. I think he's made 3 good movies. And there's not many directors working today that have the track record, the consistent track record that he does. I mean, I think maybe like Chris Nolan and
Tarantino.
Yeah, but like, I guess Tarantino. I mean, there's just, they just don't. There's a ton of directors out there, and they're all making movies. And one of them will make a good movie, and then they'll have like 5 shitty movies. And they're constantly chasing that one good movie. I just think with Jordan Peele, I think he's established enough now that he's making his type of movie, and he's told the production companies that, hey, let me make my movie and it'll be fine. And I think he's one of the best directors working today, and I think he is now the kind of the top of the pyramid when it comes to horror films.
Sounds good.
But I'm also not as horror craved as you.
Oh, well, also horror director Osgood Perkins makes an appearance in this film as the douchey director.
Yeah.
Which he just kind of nailed. And if you don't know who Osgood Perkins is, he directed Longlegs.
Yeah, and
I know you know who he is.
Yeah, I know who he is. And he's
the son of the late great Anthony Perkins.
Yeah, he got some consideration for next week's film, but
which means he didn't get it. So what is next week's film?
So I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Okay, good. We're picking Osgood Perkins.
No, I got 3 films, and so here's what I did. I went and looked at everybody's filmography, Daniel Kaluuya, and Daniel Kaluuya's got good movies. It's just he's kind of before Get Out, he was just kind of a supporting actor. And like he only has a few films where he's the main character in them. And so I was like, I don't want to pick him. So I look at Keke Palmer. And Keke Palmer's got a huge filmography. But they're all kind of just like slapstick, funny, comedy type stuff. And then, I can't pick Steven Yeun. And so then I'm like going down. I'm like, oh, Jordan Peele, but he's only got so much stuff. And I looked at him as a producer. And it's like, oh, well, it's just the films, they're more horror type films.
So
and all
you
this.
picked someone based on stunt choreography.
So
is that what we're saying? You stole my idea.
I didn't, but I found it interesting that Jordan Peele works very heavily with a cinematographer that's Oscar nominated, Oscar winner. And that's interesting to me is because, he's only got three directorial credits to his name, and he's already got one of the best cinematographers in the business working with him. And this cinematographer's name is Hoyt van Hoytema.
Yeah, we all know who that is.
But if you look at Mr. Hoytema's filmography, it's banger after banger. And so I'm gonna give you the opportunity to pick the theme for the film, and we have sci-fi.
Okay.
We have historical. And we have, I guess two of the three are kind of historical, but one is more like character-driven historical than ensemble historical.
I don't like any of this because I'm seeing the list of his movies, and there's a lot here I really want to avoid. I don't want to watch Tenet.
No. You don't get to pick. You don't get to tell me what movie you don't want to watch. What theme?
I know. I don't want to watch Tenet.
What theme do you want to go?
Give me the historical one that's more character based.
Okay, okay, good. I was hoping you were going to pick that one because I don't remember seeing it, but it's familiar to me. It's got a lot of big name actors in it, so you're going to have a lot to work with. But we're going to watch from the year 2010, starring Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, Amy Adams, directed by David O. Russell. We're watching The Fighter.
Okay. David O. Russell.
Yeah.
What did he? We talked about him recently.
Yeah, he did the Dick Cheney film, right? No, that wasn't him.
No, that's someone I was researching in my own time, I guess.
He's got Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle.
That was the one.
I Heart Huckabees. Anyways.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. So your other choices, had you picked sci-fi, we were going to watch Ad Astra, starring what's his face, Pitt.
Yeah.
And then had you picked historical ensemble film,
Dunkirk,
it would have been your own doing.
I didn't want to. I knew that Dunkirk was on that.
It wasn't going to be Dunkirk. It was going to be Oppenheimer.
Oh, thank the Lord. I had to quit the podcast. This would have been the last episode, and you didn't even know it. All right, I'm fine with The Fighter. This is going to be the greatest movie of all time.
I mean, listen.
Have we done Christian Bale yet? We haven't linked him to anything.
We haven't linked him this year. I mean, we've watched other Christian Bale.
Well, yeah.
No, but we haven't linked him. So we're gonna watch The Fighter. It's streaming on Paramount Plus.
A lot of Mark Wahlberg movies to work with here.
Yeah. So listen, I don't think we can go wrong. I think it's probably a good film. Christian Bale, I think he got nominated for best supporting actor here. Yeah. Oh, he won for best supporting actor. Ooh, okay. Let's go, Christian Bale. But anyways, regardless of what you think of the film we're watching next week, what you can do is you can hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, so you don't miss any future content right here on the YouTube channel. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, you can find us at Movie Draft House. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, and a subscribe. Jeff, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the internet. I'm at Jay Queasy on Blue Sky. I also have two other podcasts. One's called Chronologically, where we're going through the 90s films based on the works of Stephen King. And as we're talking, it'll be out by the time it comes out, but I'm editing the episode on Misery. So that's going to be coming out or already out by the time you hear this. And I think that's it. That sounds good.
Blue Sky is still around?
Yeah. What made you think it was gone?
Nobody's talking about it anymore.
Oh, no, all the all the people who don't like Elon are over there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people over there.
No, I know. I just like when I guess Musk first bought Twitter, everybody was like, "Oh, we're jumping ship. We're going to this," and like I saw everybody. I mean, I got a Blue Sky. I just don't ever go on there.
Do you go on Twitter?
Yeah, I still use the Twitter because that's where like, regardless, that's where most of the engagement is. And I'm not talking about from like the podcast now. I'm talking about engagement like personal, where I use Twitter to get a lot of news updates and stuff like that. And it's just like it's kind of like it's existed for so long, even though like Elon Musk is an idiot, and there's a lot of bullshit on Twitter. I still find it useful for getting the information that I'm looking for. I don't know. Personal preference.
That's fine.
Anyways.
No judgment.
Yeah, no. Jeff,
I think that covers it.
Any last words?
Nope. See you next. Nope, I did it again.